Oh, I did not see you there. I happen to be reading an enjoyable fanfiction I found lately on Equestria Daily. Its title is My Little Fanfiction by Alex. It was a bright sunny day in Ponyland when Rainbow Dash couldn't find her favorite hat. Oh no! Where's my favorite hat? Rainbow Dash exclaimed, looking through her closet. It was full of all her favorite clothes and jewelry, from necklaces to sunglasses to scarves, and her favorite new boots. There were a bunch of hats hanging on the wall from pegs, and one was missing. I thought I put it back, Shakes asked, looking all around for it. She eventually gave up and decided to search somewhere else. She left her closet and decided to look around her room. She looked through her dresser and under her bed, and in her other closet, but the hat was just nowhere to be found. I really wish I had my hat, Rainbow Dash sadly said. The blue Pegasus left her room and tried to look around her house for her favorite hat. It was blue with pretty feathers on it, and a bit of glitter that made it shine in the light. Dash loved to wear it around, and when she went flying, so she could show it off to all her pony friends like Cheerilee and Surprised and Posy. They didn't have pretty hats like her, so it made her feel really special, and that is why she missed it so much. Now where could I have left my hat? Dash asked, leaving her room, but not before grabbing a fashionable necklace and putting it on. It couldn't replace her hat, but it would have to do. Maybe I left it in the kitchen, she exclaimed, trotting through the kitchen happily. The happily disappeared, though, as she got into the kitchen, and she couldn't see her hat. She even looked in the cabinets, and the drawers, and the refrigerator, even though the refrigerator's a silly place to put your hat. Dash was about to get sad again, but then she remembered she was the coolest and prettiest pony in all of Ponyland, and she couldn't be 20% cooler if she was sad. I'll just have to keep looking. Rainbow Dash went to her next closest room, which was the living room. It was round and stylish looking and full of fancy furniture that Dash picked out because it looked the best. She looked around the sofa and the chairs, but her hat wasn't found. She even looked under the furniture, but there was nothing but dust, which made her sneeze. I am running out of rooms to check, Dash thought, starting to panic a little bit. She went into the laundry room and looked around for her hat. She flew up to the top of the room and looked along all the shelves. Then she checked the washer. She looked inside, but there was only some wet clothes, and not her head. Dash looked into the dryer, and even stuck her head all the way inside, but it was just empty. She frowned as she pulled her head out, and sadly walked out of the room. Her rainbow mane and tail started to droop because that's how sad she was. The last room she checked was the bathroom, which was really clean and nice looking because that's how she liked it. She checked inside the bathtub, but there was no hat. She looked under the sink, but there was no hat. She looked in the cupboard and on top of the cupboard, but there was no hat at all. This is the last place my hat could have been, so I guess I lost it forever, Dash finally said to herself. She walked back to her room and started to cry a little bit, because it was her favorite hat ever. All the ponies loved her hat, and they always said how good it looked. And now the hat is gone. Forever. Dash collapsed on her bed and cried more. But then she looked up and saw a mirror across from her bed. She saw her reflection, and after a few seconds she gasped as she noticed the hat was still on her head. Dash laughed for a really long time because it was silly that she got so worried over a hat that was on her head the whole time. After finishing laughing, she put her hat back in its spot in her closet and then went to tell all her friends the funny story about how she lost her hat and looked through her house trying to find it, only to find that it was actually on her head the whole time. The